Annyeonghaseyo.
I'm Demarche.
I'm Ariel.
And we're
Soju for two.
Okay, so this is our this week, and we have a bunch of dramas to do. We have 7, actually, this week.
So we're watching 7 consistently, and these will be the ones we're watching for a while. So we're going to rate them, again, in our order. They were our favorite this week. So our favorite this week was Bridal Mask.
And I think this was a shock to me. I really didn't know what to expect from this drama, but it is exceeding my expectations.
I mean, there were parts of this episode. So basically what's going on in this episode, we had a lot going on, but we have the big reveal. He finally finds out that his brother was the bridal mask. We know that he's completely in love with Mocha, even though he can't admit it to himself, so it's going to be like so much drama there.
And there's a lot of internal monologues with this drama, which really add, I think, to, instead of like, you know, in dramas where they talk to themselves out loud, and you're kind of like, would you really do that in real life?
Probably not.
No, but this has a lot of internal monologue, so for me it seems more realistic, and you're like getting inside of his head, so I like that a lot more.
Okay, so spoiler alert, we had 2 major deaths from the cast. So we have the mother passes away and the brother, so the bridal mask, and then he becomes the bridal mask. But not only did I think was that like whole reveal really epic, and then, you know, he kills his best friend's brother and all that sort of stuff happened.
Oh my gosh, and then they're like in a fight.
I know.
It seems like it ends with them like in a fight to the death. I mean,
oh my gosh.
Craziness. Like, could more stuff have happened in these 2 episodes?
It was such an insane week. But we need to talk about the moment when he finds out, like, not only did his brother die, and he was extremely emotional, but when he finds out his mother died, and the way he was crying, like, the sound he made was so emotional for me. Like, I immediately was just crying. Like,
you know, if someone, I mean, in real life, if someone's crying because they're sad, like, you feel that. And I feel like with his acting, normally,
it was amazing.
I'm not completely moved by, like, someone crying. I mean, I sometimes am, but this week, oh my gosh,
like
this
the
drama,
sound he made, it's like so awkward and so horrible that it only seemed realistic.
Yeah,
like the sound you would make in something like horrible in that situation.
Yeah, God forbid that would happen. It's like that's what you would feel like.
So I think it was such a great episode. I mean, these 2 episodes were amazing. So if you're not watching Bridal Mask right now, you need to be watching it. Okay, so number 2. So this is gonna be a long one, guys. So we have Big. So we have really loved Big this week. It was so cute. We had 2 kisses.
Yes.
Not epic ones, but
just
cute
sweet ones. And this was the introduction of Susie's character.
Yes.
And she is just hitting this out of the park.
She's like a firecracker in this show. Like, we really liked her in Dream High, but that was like her first thing, so she was new, and it was still like really quirky. This is great.
She did a great job with it. And I just think this is an all-star cast, and they're all really, like, you know, really putting their best foot forward with this one, because I'm just so happy with how they're acting.
And not only does it have lots of funny moments and it's cute and you're sort of seeing the differences, the end of episode 2 was so dramatic. I mean, so fraught that, like, this next episode is going to be great. So I guess we're going to sort of decide whether or not, like, who we're rooting for. We don't know, because I guess we found out, and I was wrong. He wasn't physically cheating on her. The other girl's in love with him, and he, I don't know. He did take the key and didn't give it back to her. So there's some faults.
There is some weird things going on there. I feel like I still want her to end up with an 18-year-old. I know this is horrible, but I just feel like this is great chemistry. So I wonder what's gonna happen to, like, I don't know, push it forward. I feel like they're gonna have to go back into their bodies, or at least him wake up from the coma pretty soon. But that's just my, like, anticipation.
It's really good. We really liked it this week. Okay, so number 3 this week was I Do. Such a good drama this week. I mean, basically we have the big reveal. Like, he finds out that she's pregnant.
And the other male lead finds out she's pregnant. I mean, everyone knows except for, obviously, parents and things like that. Now, the only person she intentionally told, other than her friend, was the gynecologist. And then the other guy wasn't supposed to know, but he does know. And it's really interesting to see how they interact, and, like, I mean, I think he wants to do the right thing, and then we know the gynecologist wants to do the right thing.
So we don't really know where this is going. I mean, it's definitely going to be a lot of tension with the family issue, with which guy she would pick. I mean, they both seem to want to take responsibility for her.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and we're like, we really didn't know right now who we would choose. I mean, it seems, I don't know, it's a tough one.
It's tough.
So.
And this one also talking about a lot of, like, issues we haven't seen in dramas before. So we have, like, a lot of abortion discussion in the past 2 episodes. I mean, clearly it's not going that way.
Yeah.
But that's
something just interesting to hear about it.
They were talking about.
We haven't really heard too much about abortions at all in Korean dramas, and so that was interesting.
So this was definitely, it's an emotional show, but it has so many cute moments. I mean, my gosh, like when he was, like, cleaning up the house and being cute. We love him. He's a great lead.
It's good.
So this show is definitely, it was number 3 this week. So number 4, Dr. Jin, Time Slip. Okay, so the reason why this one's number 4 this week, and it's higher up than it was last week, is that I think we're starting to get to some of that, like, emotional tension. Yeah. And even though it's like a medical drama, I think we're really getting into it. And especially Jae-jung's character is so complicated.
He really is, like, I feel like he's doing bad things, but trying to do it with, like, good intentions. And that's really, like, an issue.
Oh my god, like, burning the village. And then, but he's, like, did it to save her, so he had to be the one to do it. So it's, like, on his hands. It's, like, so depressing.
And in that way, I feel like he's really, like, trying to be the best guy he can be, but, like, it's obviously not coming off. I mean, unfortunately, he isn't the doctor, so.
Exactly. And so we had a little bit more, like, revealed. So
we had some good romance.
The romance. So we had, like, an arm grab.
Oh,
yes. We know that's good. And he was sick. So we know that being sick, you know, brings love together. Mm-hmm. So it's moving that way. We also, like, a little time flash forward, like, 3 months or whatever it was. So, I mean, basically, it's a little bit crazy, the sort of, like, medical aspect of the show. This week, the problem of the week was...
Cholera and then syphilis.
Yeah, cholera and then syphilis. So it's getting, I mean, it's pretty intense, like, medical drama. And it's touching on, like, a lot of, like...
Yeah, the whole thing with
historical issues.
Gisang, that's getting very complex. So that's interesting.
So we can't wait to see where, like, all this is working out. And, oh, we love our Jae-jung, so we're just happy to see him every week.
We do.
Okay, so number 5 this week was Absolute Boyfriend, the Taiwanese version.
Yes. And we're caught up on this one.
Yeah.
Because we came into it a little late because we started watching the other ones, but now we're caught up.
So episode 10, we had a kiss, which was epic.
And this is really varying away from the Japanese version.
Completely. And then we also had the confession. So her best friend admits that he is in love with her.
And has been for you know.
Ever.
A little bit of time.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that we're starting to get to that point where it's like, who is she going to pick?
You're going to have the battle here at the end.
And the battle is going to be epic. And actually, I don't know how many episodes this is. Usually Taiwanese dramas are shorter than Korean dramas, so I think it's
13.
Getting close to the end. So we will see. Okay, obviously we're rooting for Naita because we love him, but I think it's going to go the other way. So
I don't think a robot can really end up with someone.
No.
Not that it's not adding interesting drama.
But we would like him, so we'll
in real, he's a real actor.
He's a real actor.
Something else and we'll review it.
So number 6 this week is Ghost. So sadly, this isn't our favorite show. And I guess there was a lot of drama this week. I mean, it was super action-packed. We had like sort of the blackout in Seoul and all the repercussions that would lead to, like the nuclear reactor.
It reminded us, like we were saying, it kind of like 24.
The American show.
The American show, if you've ever seen that, it kind of has this epicness, and each week has like so much riding on what they have to finish. So
and this week we were happy to see Daniel Choi was back, and he was in this show. But I think that for us, it's just there isn't any like romance going on, or it's like it doesn't really have that hook for us. Yeah. Even though there's a lot of story and there's a lot of drama. I mean, we found out who Ghost is. We found out he's actually the teacher from Dream High. So that's great. A totally different role for him.
Yeah, I do think that this, like, just because we're watching, I mean, like, we watch 7 shows that we're regularly watching, so obviously some of them have to fall down and some have to rise up. So this isn't our favorite,
but if you like action, I think you should watch it. So and then finally this week we have, sadly, I Love Itaewon. Yeah. So this one, it was only episode 2 has been subbed yet, so on
not really giving it, I don't think, a fair shot
chance,
yet.
Yeah.
So we're giving this 7 because it just seems like what's kind of happening seems really unrealistic. And I know we're watching Big and that's so unrealistic, but for some reason it like makes more sense. You can suspend disbelief. But this, we're like, I don't buy it.
Yeah, so. I mean, there's like a lot of craziness going on. It's only episode 2, so we don't, usually the first couple episodes aren't as good, so hopefully it'll get better. The reason I think that what's interesting that's going on here is he's trying to sort of figure out how he can grow up again, and he like comes to the conclusion he has to hug her, and that's how the end of the episode is. But weird. So it seems like it's going in a totally different direction. I mean, it seems like he's going to be like her bodyguard or something.
And we were like, what? How that can happen?
But it's okay. I wouldn't mind Ki-bum as my bodyguard.
It's totally cute. I mean, we want to see what's going to go on with the end, where there's really a ton of
shows.
A ton of shows we're watching right now.
So one has to be at the bottom. So this is at the bottom for this week, but we have high hopes for it for
next week. And let us know what you think of what's going on with this week. If you saw any of these dramas, or if you're watching something else, we'll always watch it.
We'll add some more shows to our list. So check out our other videos this week. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, bye.